Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. And, hey, cut to the chase. Hazy time. Other half. Let's get to it. You know, sometimes I like to yammer quite a bit. Well, we're going to yammer a lot with this beer, but I just want to jump right into it. This is their double dry hop India Pale Ale called Ain't Nothing Nice. Ain't Nothing Nice. We're just going to pour it while we're talking. One of my favorite, second favorite song. I should be like, hey, do you know where that lyric comes from? I think they're taking it from this song, but I'll just spoil the plot. Tropical Quest, my favorite hip hop group of all time. Probably my second favorite song from them, maybe. I mean, number one's a war tour for all time, but Electric Relaxation, the bass line on that, the lyrics, the whole nine. That's what this from. Little has to do with lots of loving, but it ain't nothing nice. I assume that's where it's coming from, so that's why I grabbed this beer, basically. Sure, it's other half, it's a hazy. It was actually relatively decently priced. We'll get to that towards the end. But man, once I saw that name, I had to have it. Because anytime you can kind of interweave some of my favorite music into some tasty bevies, some tasty beers, I am a fan. So as far as you're talking, I think it's like 6 and change percent hazy IPA. Looks all the part of what I want that to look like. It's not super turbid, looks pretty drinkable. Not a huge head on anticipated decent amount so far because I talk a lot. Just has that kind of slightly darker core with those little bright edges to it. Looks all a part of something fantastic. What do they say about it on here? Because they say the same thing every time, but we'll read it. It says, a hazy IPA brewed with hand-selected blend of hops giving notes of passion fruit pine. Okay, I'm here for it. Pineapple, mango, and green. Not guava, green guava. Simcoe, Galaxy, Mosaic, and Mosaic Cryo. Okay, so I can see, I can see where that pine's coming from. 6.2%, so relatively low ABV. Typical, patterned kind of other half can, but like I said, the name wins the day for me as far as the beer goes. Just give it a roll. Look at it, it comes back with a vengeance. Let's dive into this nose, see what's what. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely like a green component in here, and I'd almost dare to say there's echoes. It's not big on, but there's echoes of this Simcoe Caddy Past in there. Definitely a green kind of weedy, sub-beaster weedy, not really good nuggy kind of weediness in there, but green. Almost maybe even go with like green grassy, but unkept lawn kind of green grassy. We don't talk about those terms a lot nowadays. It used to be very much a kind of a thing I would talk about, unkept lawns, tomato stocky, all these things. I don't think it's a matter of my palate changing. I think it's the way hops are cultivated. A lot of those flavors that I really came to love and know back in the day from specifically Simcoe and Mosaic, I think are bred out of hops nowadays, and you can get them every now and then. Kind of getting it here, kind of a little bit of kind of like old school mean mugging kind of IPA, but again, yeah, definitely that green porter, definitely that unkept lawn thing going on there. I mean, the fruit juice is undeniable. You're still getting that kind of tropical fruit / citrus medley. Doesn't come off like overtly sweet like an Orangina kind of thing. It comes off as like a freshly squeezed kind of thing. This is a very intriguing beer. I was hoping I was going to like it because of the name and stuff like that, but very much kind of like old school. I wouldn't say old school other halfy, almost old school like single cutty, but again, we're talking about a hazy IPA from the 15, 16, somewhere around there. Well-made hazy IPA that wasn't afraid to be a little garlic scaling on the unkept lawny. I'm excited. Let's just dive in. Cheers, all. Yeah. They're not afraid of bitter in this beer. Man, especially for its style, that's the thing. It is decently bittering. There's probably a decent propping up here from some carbonic acid, but there's enough green here to kind of camouflage that and let me believe that all of this is hop derived. First things first, mouthfeel. Soft. Not fluffy, ultra creamy. It has this nice soft mouthfeel, while at the same time not being even close to being heavy. So it's a fuller mouthfeel for its ABV level and style, but still drinkable. On the fruit juice side of things, definitely under sweetened kind of fruit juice vibes here. We're probably leaning a little bit more kind of pineapple-y, grapefruity than just straight on kind of orange. And then once you get to the tropical side of things, again, you can talk about when they say that kind of made fun of that green guava. I can understand it because it doesn't have that overt sweetness to it. And since it is not overly sweet, I think it props up and just shows that bitterness a little bit more. Again, a little bit of carbonic acid. I'm not really going to complain about it. If I'm not going to complain about it, nobody's going to complain about it. And then to really just get this kind of unkept lawn, greeny, kind of slightly catty, old school Simcoe-y kind of thing going on. Again, it's not 2x4 to the face for its style in today's beer world. It's almost a 2x4 to the face for the style and time. And the whole thing finishes pretty dry for the style. It's not overly sweet. After I've taken a sip and I haven't drank more, my mouth is a little puckering, a little bit dry. It definitely wants to go back for another gulp. I like this. I like this a lot. Weirdly, I almost want to say I'd like it if it had just a skosh more sweetness to it. What's the date on this sucker? This is like 2.5 weeks old. This is really good, man. Really good. And, I was going to say surprising. I don't think that's an appropriate way to kind of frame it because I don't think other halves doing bittering IPAs is weird. They've done it quite a bit. Their origins have a lot of bittering beers. They're not afraid of throwing bittering in their beer. It's more so the kind of green and the kind of bittering you're getting from this beer is, again, not surprising, but you just don't see it a lot. And for them to take what is inherently a hyper new school New England style base and just kind of undersweet, have it be a little, fully attenuated, not really residual sweet, and then throw these echoes of old school graininess. Again, we'll say it again, the cattiness, that greeniness, that unkept lawny, kind of weedy, unkept lawniness to it, and throwing that into the beer, I think is a really fun move and a really cool play. Old school hip-hop. Some people won't call tribe old school hip-hop. You have to go to, like, Cool Mo D and all that kind of stuff, and KRS-One and all that stuff, but old enough for me, because I'm old, and that's what I grew up in the 80s, late 80s, 90s. Yeah, I think this is fantastic. And it's probably one of the cooler IPAs that Other Half has made. And we get the bonus points of low ABV. 6.2% drinking way above its weight class, drinking more like a 7% IPA. Done and done. I dig it. Is it one of the better lower-ish IPAs? Not pale ales, not 5, but 6. Yes, without a doubt, Mount Rushmore status. Hello. Value and availability. It was like a super good price point, too. I want to say it was like $17. For at Pennsylvania of all places. So Pennsylvania, $17. Other Half, Double Dry Hop, this kind of aggressive beer. I'm cool with it and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like new school haze, you like your beers fully attenuated, and you miss that old school scallion-y, unkept lawny greeniness. You're not gonna get again the 4x4 to the face, but you'll get the 2x4 to the face on this one if that's what you dig, especially at that low ABV price point. And, decent price point. Low ABV and decent price point. There we go. We're reviewing the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let's talk about it down there. Let's talk about Other Half. All their hundreds of breweries, all the beers they make. What's your favorite Other Half beer? Have you had this beer? Let me know. Down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying some delicious Other Half right now. And hope we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.